Scott, I often put it to you that you reflect after a defeat, but of course you would also do the same after a victory as well. 5-0 at the Rock on Boxing Day. A couple of days later, what's the verdict?
Pleasing performance. Like you say, you always reflect on both winning and losing, but you learn more from a loss, don't you? Because you learn more about your players and how they react, and certainly the game on Boxing Day was excellent from start to finish. I thought we had lots of possession. The only thing that didn't really pleased me too much was the amount of possession that we got and then the end product. Having said that, we scored 5 goals, so must have been doing something right. But you know, as a manager, as a coach, you're never 100% pleased or happy or have that feeling of, you know, content, because you look at the next game. You know, if you just go in there and say, you know, you're brilliant today, we haven't got work or anything, the players just take things for granted, don't they? So really pleasing performance. You know, it was nice to see Greg get another hat-trick. I don't know how many more goals he needs now to get to that record, but he's certainly going in the right direction.
As you said in the post-match interview, looking ahead to the home fixture with Cefn Druids, they won't be coming here just to make up the numbers. They'll be wanting to put that wrong right, of course. On the other hand, though, 5-0 for the New Saints, that does give us massive confidence going into that game.
Yes, it does, and we're at home, and the players will be well aware that we lost our previous game. So, you know, we lost 2 games at home this season. We don't like to lose games. You know, I'm still disappointed about the Cardiff Met one. You know, I look at it and I see highlights of it, and it does rile me a little bit. But you've got to get over it. You've got to move on to the next game and move forward. Nothing we can do about that one. But we've got Cefn Druids, Newtown and Connors Quay before the split, and you know, we want to make sure that we get maximum points from those.
And you mentioned the Cardiff Met game, it riles you in some ways, but does it also act as a motivating factor as well to push you to put those things right that perhaps didn't work out in games like that?
Yeah, it wasn't the overall performance. I think if you look at the chances we had better chances at goal than them. You know, their keeper saved more than Paul Harrison has done. Bogey team, call it what you like. It's one of them where next time, you know, we'll be well up for that. But look, that's gone. We're moving forward. Next game's Monday. Important game again. Whether they'll have a few players back, because they did look a little light on the bench and whatever. So your next game's your most important, and that's one we're concentrating on.
You used all substitutes, of course, at the Rock on Boxing Day. Ryan Brobble, Blaine Hudson, Aaron Edwards all came off. Injury, tactical, or were you just resting players ahead of the game on the 30th of December?
A couple we need to take care of. Another one a rest, because you know, you look at the period of games and the schedule that the Premiership have got. I mean, we get rest, we get some rest to play. So I wouldn't like to be in their position choosing a team that you really want to put out but shouldn't do because of recovery. 48 hours, some teams probably less than 48 hours recovery, it's not really on, is it? And obviously the Premiership do it for TV or fan purposes and to get the families out there watching games, but it's not ideal. Yes, we have to give them a little rest, and if players are not 100%, then we have to look after them. But we'll want our strongest team playing on Monday.
I've mentioned the players that came off. To replace them, Joash Nembard, Ryan Harrington and Curtis Byrne. That shows the depth of strength that you have at your disposal. But then, equally so, as a manager, how do you keep everyone happy? Is it a case of you can't ultimately, or do you have to try and plate spin to some degree?
No, if you look at the 3 people that come on to the pitch the other day, they all deserve a start. There's no doubt about that. You know, the way they work in training, the previous performances. If you look at Joash's performances since he's come in the side, he's done excellent. He's done really well. Same as Ryan Harrington. Ryan Harrington's played a lot of football for us this season as a 22-year-old. So 21, 22. So I think sometimes you have to give them a little rest to go again. You can't just flog young players. You have to be understanding of them. You have to discuss with them why they're not in the side. You know, we're not just going to leave players out the side and not talk to them. You know, Curtis is in my office asking why isn't he playing. You know, we sit down. There's no crosswords. We talk and I tell him my reasons why. If he's understanding of that, then so be it. If he's not, then he has to work harder to get in the side. But I do, you know, have some time thinking about the starting lineup and how we should approach the players that don't play. And it's being fair. It's really being fair. It's telling them, it's not telling them one thing and doing another. And it's making sure that they know you're honest. And if you look at it the other day, pulled Joe Ash out and Ryan out, and we still won 5-0. So if I was to do that and we were to lose the game or to underperform, then they'd have a cause to come to me and say, well, I think you're wrong, but as long as you're honest, that's my approach.
And it's true to say that the 3 players came off, the 3 came on. It didn't affect the fluidity, the flow, or the nature of the game as far as TNS was concerned.
No, very good, and that's exactly what you want from your players. You want them to be disappointed, but you want them also, when they come on the pitch, to put that behind them and say, well, I'm ready now for selection.
And as far as selection is concerned, the final question, have you got your starting 11 in your mind ahead of the game against Cefn Druids?
Yes, possibly one change through injury or looking after that player, but 10 out of 11 are sorted.